Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today, yes, we are back with another brand new video. And you know something, I got in here and I sat down like Thanos at the end in Infinity War and I just took a deep breath because everything we saw in that game of football is everything we know that we are capable of, and every little thing we have been begging and hoping to see for what feels like forever. As the darkness has cleared, it's always darkest before the dawn, and that certainly was that performance versus Napoli. And now we've got sprinklets of lights, ladies and gentlemen, as Rangers put Aberdeen to the sword once again with a phenomenal attacking display at Ibrox. It saw it finish 4-1. And honestly, there's not one person on planet Earth that saw that game that would argue and say that could have been 10. And not only is it a relief to get 3 points and again lead the sheep to the slaughter, but it's just such a buzz, people, that we are able to play like that, because that's what we've been craving, like I said earlier on today's video, and I got it. We talked about a last chance saloon. We need something new. I think he was going to pick players he believes in. I wanted to see them fight for the manager because the manager's been getting a lot of crap, and I wanted to see the players, when the whistle goes, go out there and fight, because again, this is a big important game and we got everything we could have asked for going into this game. And the only thing we can hope going forward is that is now the standard, the way we approached that game, the way we ran them off the park, the way we dug into challenges, and the way we went forward is now the standard for this football club, and it's a blueprint of success, because look at what that did. 35 shots, 13 on target. We still dominated the pretty possession stat and everything like that, but we dominated the most important thing, and that was the scoreline of 4-1, and I'm absolutely buzzing with that, ladies and gentlemen. And the performances stay like that, I'll be a very, very happy man for the rest of the season. But again, it's about taking that now and making it the regular thing, because we've seen what can work in this league now, and it's not slow and passive and side to side and being patient. It's being direct, being angry, and being aggressive, something that we showed a lot of in the season we lifted 55, and hopefully we'll now see a lot of that going forward, because I just loved every little thing at the positivity. I thought Tillman in the middle was a revelation again with this one, with Sands and Lundstram, especially in the first half. I like that midfield pairing because Sands can get up and down. He's got a wee bit of pace to him, and I thought he complemented Lundstram really well. And the two wingers for me is everything we've been wanting, pacey and direct. And Ryan Kent, by the way, who gets a lot of crap, and rightly so, over the last couple of weeks he's been awful, ladies and gentlemen, but for me, I thought he had the shackles took off him this afternoon. You'll hear that more as the video goes on, but just the way he went about his business, cutting inside, drifting centrally, that is the Ryan Kent we know it can be. And I thought he was excellent, and he was matched, if not topped, by the right hand side from Fashion Sakala, people. Honestly, I just love this guy. He just makes me happy, you know what I mean? If I can find a lass that makes me half as happy as Sakala does, I'll be a delighted man, and probably grow some black hair here instead of the grey, because I watch this guy play and I love everything about him. His enthusiasm for the game, his optimism, his never say die attitude, and the fact that he's so damn positive when he's got the ball as well. He's not just a personality. He's not just like, he actually does things, and that's why I was so frustrated. And that's why I ranted so much on Wednesday. I said in that video, one of the main things I said is, why is Alfredo Morelos and why is Scott Wright starting over Fashion Sakala and Antonio Colak? And now that we've seen the latter start the games, you can understand my frustration, because they're just so positive, they're so direct, and they're very, very good footballers. And what more can I say about the Croatian king? Not only does he get yet another goal for this football club to continue his phenomenal goal scoring success so far in his short career at Rangers, but he also added an overall performance. And I look at that game and I think of that game and I saw how he dropped deep, I saw how he brought others onto play, I saw how he created two clear-cut opportunities that should have resulted in goals, and I sit back and think, that myth, that nonsense that's out there, that no, you need to play Morelos in this game because Morelos can drop deep and bring others onto play and create chances, Colak just scores goals. That is utter nonsense, people, and Colak showed that this afternoon. That is your number 9, and he's absolutely flying. And there's genuine just happiness on the face right now, and obviously we're going to break down the game because there is a lot to actually discuss, from VAR decisions, penalties missed, all this nonsense, so there is a lot to break down. But the last thing I want to say regarding my overall thoughts and opinions on the game is Michael Beale was in that stance. He was on the sidelines watching this Rangers team, and the way that they went about their business and performed, it was like it was sports day and they were trying to impress their frickin' dad. It was sensational people out there. So thanks for coming, Mick Beale. Hopefully you enjoyed the show as Gio got it all right on an afternoon. He really had to. But aye, let's go ahead and transition into the game recap then, shall we? Because there is so much to talk about, so much drama from VAR, horrible refereeing decisions, penalties. There's a lot to digest today, so let's go into the all game recap because, like I said, I loved the starting 11. It was reverting back to people that deserve to play. Fashion Sakala deserves to play. No one is outworking him. He should be a focal point and arguably was the man of the match, and the longer the video goes on, you'll understand why I say that. And again, Colak, who's our best striker, but it was also Yilmaz at left back, who I was very excited to see be given a start in such a big, important game as well. I thought he would have reverted to Barisic, but he gave young Yilmaz a chance, and it's got to be said, for every minute Yilmaz was on the... Now, it wasn't the money. Alright, let's not get there for a minute. But for every minute he was on that park, he just gave a freshness to the squad. Every time he got it, he just jogged forward. It was weird. It was like, what's going on here? The left back's not passing it backwards. He just kept galloping forward, and it was weird. It was like just taking your dog at a park for the first time, letting him off the leash, and he just... Every single time he got it, it was brilliant to watch, and he was the focal point in the first 8 minutes of this game, driving by people, setting up a couple half opportunities, and then defensively shows you what he can do as well as he stopped a cross, people. But you know the cruel irony, and the cruel irony of life is he stopped a cross and got injured. I now understand why Barisic hasn't stopped the cross in 4 years. People, I apologise, Barisic. I wasn't familiar with how you were thinking, because Yilmaz does so well defensively to stop the cross, but he ends up pulling his hammy, and it looks like it's going to be a couple-week job as Yilmaz joins injured FC, who at this point, people, if you put that injured starting 11 into the league, would probably win it. So our bright start of positivity was ripped from us as Yilmaz ended up getting substituted off, but Barisic would have his say on the match in the way that Barisic always does, with great deliveries into the box. But before we get to any of that, we had some more positivity. Ryan Kent again looking very sharp, looking like he fancied it, cutting outside, cutting inside, cutting back out, having a shot that he was very annoyed at himself for missing, and I like to see that emotion. Just go back and look at the reaction. He was so annoyed at himself for missing that chance. It wasn't he doing and walk away. I felt like he was really at it the day that in the same way he's not been at for a while. Maybe I'm mistaken in that, but he seemed like he had a point to prove this afternoon, and again, hopefully now he can continue to build on that. But everything was looking like it was gone our way, and then what would they, people? We end up going behind to their first shot on target, and the way this happens is, honestly, I'm getting aged just thinking about it. Honestly, I'm getting a migraine. There's a migraine happening. But the way it comes down is, young King gets kind of turned. It all starts for the run. Duke has a wee nibble at him, shoves him to the side, and then he fakes to go that way. It's a clever run for the centre forward. King again will, as he gets more experience, will be a little bit more wiser to that. But the ball eventually comes in. He bites a couple times. Duke's sort of sitting him down. It reverses in. Tavernier then comes in to try and make a challenge. There is no contact, and Duke honestly goes like this. People, wait a minute. I'm doing this. He goes like this. Jesus fuck. That's embarrassing, it. Got a game tomorrow, too. Charity game. It's not looking good, lads. It's not looking good. Breford just landed right in the knee. But anyway, it's a horrific dive. Is the camera still on? I hope it is. It's a ridiculous dive. Tavernier stops. I don't know why he stops. We learned that literally when we're 4 years old. You'd never ever stop until the whistle. Remember, if you're young and you're growing up and you're wanting to play football, listen. Didn't he stop to hear the whistle? It should be common knowledge, but it isn't to this Rangers team. Is not only Tav, King, Davies, Lundstram, Sands, everybody stops. And then Barron just trickles in. Man, these actually really killed me for that time. But Barron comes in, hits a shot, and it goes in to the back of the net, and you're thinking to yourself, what's happening here then? Because I originally thought, that would have been a penalty kick, because I thought, well, VAR's no done it. But now I've seen it back. It is a clear, obvious dive. So I want to ask this question to every single person watching, because you'll be a lot cleverer and smarter than me on this. If VAR is there, if you dive, that is a foul. Like am I talking sense? Is that a different rule? Is it all changed now? It's not like something that's happened off the ball and it's carried on or something like that for 15, 20 seconds or whatever. No, it's literally directly involved in the goal. He dives, which creates the opportunity for a goal. So should VAR not have looked at that, chopped the goal off and given a foul For Rangers, very reminiscent of not only the goal that was scored against Manchester United a couple of weeks ago this season when there was a foul in the build-up 30 seconds before, by the way, that got pulled all the way back. This is literally 2 seconds before, but it also happened against Liverpool and it's happened with Man City. It's happened in a lot of Premier League matches where there's been a foul in the build-up so the goal gets chopped off. Well, the boys dived. So is that not a foul? I don't know, maybe I'm talking absolute nonsense, but as far as I know, I don't think that goal should have stood. But either way, schoolboy error from the Rangers defence, and that was the only thing that could have beat us. The only people that can beat us is ourselves right now, and we continue to give teams opportunities, and you just think to yourself, that is a gut punch, that is Sayre. But you've got to give a lot of credit to the way that Rangers responded, and that's where I give a lot of credit to Antonio Colak, because there was a couple moments where it did get hectic. It started to get a bit iffy. The crowd was getting a bit iffy. But if you look at Colak through the next 5 minutes before he gets his goal, every single time he touched that ball, he calmed it down. He picked the right pass. He wasn't hectic. He wasn't losing his mind. He wasn't trying anything stupid. Calming it down and getting us going. And for me, that was very, very important and built us the platform to go on and do what the man done. And before that ball did hit the back of the net from Colak, it really should have from either Sakala or Kent, because Colak comes deep, picks the ball up, turns and plays a beautiful through ball to Sakala, who's using his pace. Honestly, you'll never see him like this, or you see him like this. He's just gone at it. It gets him behind the defence. He finds Ryan Kent, who Kent throws his shin guard at it, I think, and it gets blocked on the line. That's one block on the line, ladies and gentlemen. There was 3 in the game. 2 of them on Ryan Kent. The boy's cursed, honestly. It must be something to do with his golf blood or his Monster energy drinks, but he's done something and karma's against the laddie. But thankfully it's no against the next man, as John Lundstram does very well here. And I'm going to give Lundstram a bit of a shout as well, because he's been getting a lot of criticism, and for me, he's frustrated me in some games. But I felt like we had so many attacking options this afternoon that he was able to zip the ball forward, and this is a perfect example. If this is last week versus Livingston, this is against Dundee, if this is against anybody else, he's passing that to Tavernier or he's recycling it. But we've got so many men bombing forward, and it's Tillman's run from centrally nipping in behind the defence, it stretches it, that Lundstram gives the pass. Football can be made really, really simple if people make a run, spot the run, and go for it. And that's exactly what we did. Brilliant ball in behind from Lundstram. Tillman great with the run. Calms everyone down, nice and composed again. Nothing phases that laddie, which frustrates everyone who watches him play, but nothing does. This is a 20-year-old kid who gets on the ball, sees Colak, gives it to him, and the big Croatian king does what he does, and that was massive to get us back. And I love Colak's celebration as well. He was saying, come on now, and he's like, I'm here, I won't let this happen, and he never for the rest of the game. And the Croatian lived up to his name, because he simply refused to let the game die out as he continued to show more quality. This time again dropping deep and hitting a nice first time pass to Sakala, who again gallops in. It's very reminiscent of the chance we just spoke about, but the only difference is instead of having a man right on his shoulder, Sakala's completely on his own. He's 1v1, and this is where the Sakala frustration comes in, because again, you never know what he's going to do, because he doesn't know what he's going to do. He ends up running through. I think he actually tries to flick it over so he can continue running. I think like a wee bit of the old Forrest Gumps, but it's a good save by the goalie. But yeah, he should definitely have been scoring that, and if it finished 1-1, I'd be having a different reaction than now. But if I'm honest with you, what Sakala doesn't have, it gives you in other areas, and he just adds so much to this team, and that infectiousness and the pace and that is night and day. When he's not in that squad, we have nothing, absolute nothing gone doing that right. Doesn't matter if it's Scott right, doesn't matter if it's Arfield, doesn't matter if it's Tillman. Whoever we waste out there instead of playing Sakala doesn't offer the same as a Sakala, even with his fault. So I can't be too critical of him, because again, what he missed in that, he made up for later on in the game with the chances that he did create. But thankfully we didn't go into half-time 1-1 thinking of that missed chances. Kent does very nice work down the left-hand side as he absolute skins the defender, cuts to the right, cuts to the left, and gets nailed by Crowley, which gives us a set piece. Barisic whips in, it's decent, but it gets deflected out. The shot comes in, I can't remember exactly who's hit it. I think it might be the was it Tavernier? I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's a very good save by the goalie. And who reacts first? Who gambles that the goalie's going to spill this? Big Ben Davies. No, I never would have guessed it either, but he does. And not only does he get there, He manages to turn his body and put the ball exactly where you would hope and pray someone is in a blue shirt. It's a wonderful bit of movement and anticipation for Big Ben, and he puts it on a plate for Lundstram, who smashes it with the L1 R1 circle into the back of net. 2-1 to Rangers, and that's well and truly deserved going in at half time. It was just unfortunate that was Big Ben Davies' last action in the game, as I think the big laddie sort of tweaked something up, because we know he's kind of playing through a wee bit of a knock right now. He's kind of been half here, 60 minutes here and everything like that, so I think he maybe have done a little bit something, but fingers crossed there's nothing too serious. Again, all Giovanni has said is it will be assessed tomorrow, so fingers crossed we didn't lose Big Ben, as he's really performing for the Rangers shirt right now. But as you can imagine, there was a half-time change as Scotty Arfield came on for Davies, which dropped Sands, who was excellent, I thought, in the middle of the park, down into defence, and you have to just give all the credit to that young man as well. He'll probably not get too many mentions in terms of the game recap, but the fact that he can go and play 45 minutes in the middle of the park and for me be utterly faultless throughout the entire 45 minutes, I don't think he wasted a ball, I don't think he missed a challenge. He was brilliant, and then move in the second half to a completely different position, central defence versus two Aberdeen strikers, to put in another fantastic display, deserves a lot of credit. So shout out to James Sands. If Sakala and that wasn't shining and Big Colak didn't do what he'd done in the game, he'd have probably been man of the match and it would have been deserved. So just wanted to give the laddie a wee bit of love. Bing bong as we move on to the third goal of the game, and it started early in the second half, and it's vital that you do that. We didn't put the foot down, we didn't pull the handbrake up, release the gas and start stuttering because we were winning. No, we kept it on, and this is what I'm so impressed with Giovanni for in this game. This is exactly what he got right in this game, because we've put ourselves in good positions, and then he's made the conservative ones, he's made the defensive changes, he's tweaked this to be more calmer on the ball, but he never done that the day it was well and truly let the hounds go, and I love that. Please continue that, Gio, and I will sing your name for the top of the hill, please, sir. Fingers crossed he's learned his lesson for past mistakes, and it led to a fantastic second half and a fantastic overall afternoon as we get the third goal. Again, Colak is heavily involved as he drops a wee bit to the right hand side, picks the ball up, finds Tavernier with a gorgeous pass, who tries to whip it in from sort of central way. It ends up falling its way to Ken, who does well to recover it, gives it to Barisic, and then Barisic to the back post where Tavernier is, where he's no been all season long, ladies and gentlemen. Tavernier at the back post, Barisic crossing it. Name something more emotional than that. Maybe apart from the end, it goes, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only thing that gets close to the level of emotion than seeing Barisic assist to the back post for Taven. What a header it is as well, by the way. You've seen the Aberdeen defender just doing that, man. He's saying, what can I do against that? Exactly. There's nothing, and that's where we want to see Tavernier, and again, hopefully continues to build up. I know he had the howler by stopping, and that was naive and everything like that for stopping, but going forward, he was able to do what he's done for Rangers now for many, many years, and that's be a real attacking threat. In saying that, we know what happens next, is he should have had 2 goals in the game as we get a VAR decision. That's right, we VAR the people. We finally get that VAR penalty in the Scottish League, and the way we get it is honestly unbelievable, the fact the referee never gave it originally. I'm talking about the boys came out, right? The ball's bounced. He's went like that. He's volleyball served it. Like, honestly, and the referee's like that. Honestly, man, I've not seen somebody so lost than Daniel Radcliffe's acting in Harry Potter 1. I just didn't get what he saw not to give that a penalty. And then he trots over to VAR. Maybe they just wanted to use the telly. Maybe they did. People are, we're paying the electricity on it, we may as well use it. He goes over there, looks at it and says, yeah, the boys volleyball served it, of course. It's a penalty. Up steps Tav. I kind of thought Colak, because Colak picked the ball up. I think Colak wanted it, but obviously the skipper's got a great penalty record, so he steps up, and unfortunately it hits the bottom left post. Feeling is kind of what happened over the next 10-15 minutes as we continued to be attacking, as we continued to put the pressure on. Gorgeous play from Tillman creates another clear-cut opportunity as he picks out Arfield, who has a great shot that's cleared brilliantly off the line. Full credit for that, by the way. It was absolutely sensational defending. You're going, okay, that's 2 cleared off the line. Can we get a wee bit of luck? And luck just said no to us this afternoon as we play more gorgeous stuff. Colak, Sakala, Tillman, they're all involved again as the ball finds its way to big Ryan Kent, I should say, and His shot gets cleared off the line again as it hits the defender in the chest where it looks like it's bet the goalkeeper. Thankfully we had optimistic in a jar himself, Sakala, because this is late on the game now. The game's pretty much done and dusted. It's all completely one way, but Sakala makes a 30-yard dash all the way back defensively, wins the ball back, picks the ball up and then runs with the ball. Again, 30 yards up the park, does a nice wee bit of trick to get by another player. Slips in Morelos, who, for me, I thought he timed his run perfectly at the time, and he slots it away, and I'm like, what a goal that is, man. Look at Sakala. He's went all the way back, won it, jogged it. No, even the biggest Sakala hater can criticise this laddie for what he's just done in this. Why is there VAR? VAR. And then we're at VAR for like 4 minutes, and then he gets chopped off as Morelos just went a little bit too early, and you're thinking, oh, the Alfredo, he probably deserved that. It was a great finish for the big man, and Sakala deserved the assist. But what I loved again is we didn't let it affect us. We just kept going forward. We just kept asking questions, and again, that's all we've wanted all season long for this Rangers team. And Sakala gets his assist as Tillman combines with Arfield. Arfield puts it out to Sakala. Sakala runs wide, whips in a devilish cross that slightly deflected off Liam Scales, I believe, and it sets up Alfredo Morelos for the simplest tap-in you will ever see. It's time for this. No, it's not, because there's VAR. And I know VAR's just into the league and there's going to be teething issues and stuff like that, but it shouldn't take 6 minutes for something we can see in 10 seconds that's clearly onside for the replays. They took 6 minutes to make this decision, man. What is VAR operating on in this country? Is it Windows 98? I just never got it. It was so blatant. It was so obvious. Lay onside. I'm so confused why that took longer than every other decision. It was nearly's and maybe's so blatantly onside. So the goal eventually is given. Morelos gets yet another goal versus Aberdeen, and Sakala for me gets the assist that he deserves, and for me the crowning achievement on his overall performance that gives him the man of the match. I know Colak won the sponsors man of the match, and we all know I got love for the big man, but I'm going to give this one to Sakala because his work rate, his energy, his drive, he deserved it. There was times where it looked like he was running the ball out and then he would run into 2 players, beat both of them and create stuff. That is what I want to see, and I don't know, man. It was just I'm just feeling good about this afternoon, and just good about that game. I saw Ryan Kent drift centrally. It's something that I've seen under Gerrard and Michael Beale. Him getting used like that just creates havoc, and people didn't know where to go because he is so two-footed. Sorry. Again, I'm not sitting saying he was a perfect in that, but it was much better and it was threatening. So we had that. We had Sakala, we had Colak running the show, and we had a midfield whose first priority was to go forward and feed the attacking players and attack the opposition, and they just couldn't live with it at all. They were well and truly expecting the slow, ponderous Rangers side that we were all expecting going in to this game. We flipped the switch, and when we did, they couldn't get near us. It was 4-1 going on 8, and Big Tillman nearly got a goal in the last minute as well, where Morelos peels to the right, puts in a beautiful ball, but the big man just can't get enough in it. Phenomenal display for Rangers. It's exactly what we want to see, and again, that's why we get so emotional. That's why we say the things we want. That's why we get so frustrated about the game, is because we love this team, we love these players, we know they're capable of that, but that's now the standard. Let's keep the ball rolling. So I'm absolutely buzzing, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be sleeping a very, very happy man tonight, and I'm sure Gio will as well, seeing the players perform like that. That's them finally backing the manager, and I think the manager backed the players by allowing them to be as free as they wanted to be and allowing them to be that creative. So it was a perfect partnership today, and hopefully that continues. And that's all I've got to say about the overall game, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my Saturday night with a massive smile on the Nash. Again, I've got a wee charity game which will be coming up on the channel very, very soon as well. We're raising a wee bit of money for autism. We're going to be playing at Raith Rover Stadium tomorrow, so well, I think it's getting filmed, so I'll post a wee bit thing in that, and if you want to donate and everything like that in the future, that we'll certainly do all that. I want to try and use what you guys have given me so graciously, by the way, for an opportunity today, some nice things. So I'm going to be playing a lot of games, doing a lot of things on the channel, trying to raise a wee bit of money for certain causes and everything like that. So if anyone's ever got anything like that, or they think it'd be interested, fire in. I'm always interested to try and raise money and help some people, and if we can use the channel to help them do that, I will certainly try my freaking best. And it's a phenomenal weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy tomorrow as well. As always, I've been CJ92. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.